Lucama, North Carolina is home to one special racing hotbed. Southern National Motorsports Park, led by Mike Diaz, is frankly one of the best tracks on iRacing, one of the best tracks on the car's late model stock tour. And Zach, we are here tonight at this 4/10th mile high banked mixing bowl. A lot like Bristol Martinsville mixed into one and just shortened up a little bit on the straightaways. I really do love this place. Southern National Motorsports Park holds a special place in a lot of drivers' hearts. That includes a lot of these guys in this field tonight. Welcome to round number 6 of the iRacing Cars Late Model Stock Tour. It's good to be here as well. Point standings keep tightening up, flip-flopping who's on top. Ryan Kuhn has taken over after Alex McCullum opted to use last week as a drop week. And of course, we're not going to get a real scope of this championship battle until much later in the season, but we can certainly do our best as qualifying comes to a close here in the session. Welcome to the sim. And Zach, this place, Kenley, Lucama, either one, Southern National Motorsports Park, located way out there on the eastern side of the state. It's a special place.
Absolutely, and it's just such a unique track. It's, like you said, it's kind of like Martinsville and Bristol, just a little bit shorter on the straightaways. It's got so much history behind it with the Thanksgiving Classic and so many good races for the late model stock cars, and you know, it's going to be super interesting to see how these guys run. It's a really kind of a one-groove racetrack. You can make the high line and the middle line work a little bit if you've got the pace for it, but ultimately it's going to be sticking that nose right there on the bottom line, right on the white line, and just being able to rip it around the bottom with this track.
Ryan Kuhn in the session has not qualified yet. He does hold a track record here, at least one in the street stock at a 15.141. We are going quite a bit quicker than that this evening, though, in the late model stock cars. Let's check out the standings. Welcome, by the way, to Pit Stop TV for, again, round number 6 of the season. Glad to have you all here. It's going to be a special one. Just taking a look at the standings, you can see where everybody's from, or the class everybody is. I'm pretty surprised, actually. Jackson Lewis moving up the order a bit more, and of course, the top 3 has moved around quite a bit. You can see, Zach, Alex McCullum abstaining from last week at Langley really shook things up.
Yeah, and looking into the race a little bit, not to jump the gun here, but Ryan Kuhn actually missed being able to qualify, and he's going to be starting at the back of the grid, so that's going to hurt when you've got drivers like Jacob Harberts and Alex McCullum who are starting up towards the front, Evan C. as well, that are able to kind of take some points away from you here tonight.
You know what that says to me? It could say something different to a lot of different people depending on how you look at it, I suppose. What that tells me, Zach, is Ryan Kuhn is confident. And I don't want to see a confident Ryan Kuhn. I don't think the rest of these guys, anyways, on the track want to see a confident Ryan Kuhn behind the wheel of a late model stock car in iRacing. He knows the point situation, of course. He's got 69 starts. This is number 70 now for him. 58 wins. A confident Ryan Kuhn is a scary Ryan Kuhn, especially in these iRacing late model stock cars. And if he's truly that confident, that spells danger for the rest of the field. Let's take a look at the schedule this season. Kicking off at South Boston earlier on. Quite a schedule we have, round 6, right in the middle.
Yeah, it's right here in the middle. It's pretty much the middle of the Cars Tour layout for this whole schedule. And kind of circling back a little bit, Ryan Kuhn actually had packet loss, and he rejoined trying to start qualifying with about 5 seconds left on the clock. So I wouldn't say confidence, I would say a little bit of a technical issue.
All right, well, that changes things up a little bit, but I do still think that he's pretty confident about it. Let's quickly go through your starting grid. On pole, it's Alex McCullum. Starting second is Jacob Harbert. Starting third, Evan C. Fourth, Devin Landry. Fifth, Casey Beatty. Sixth, Landon Rapp. Seventh, Kyle Turzak. Eighth, Trayton Lapsevich. Ninth, Justin Crow. 10th, Caleb Hall. That's all for him. 15 cars, though, in the field. Didn't go through the entire grid, as we have already got some shaking around through the field. Lap 1, we're kicking it off. 50 laps here at Southern National Motorsports Park. That happens quick. Those pace laps, not long enough sometimes for us up here in the booth, but you see how they've shaken out over the course of one lap. Landon Rapp up into 6th, racing with Trayton Lapsevich, gets ahead of him, dives down to the inside of turn 3. One car caught up top, that's Devin Landry, getting shuffled out of the order as he falls back in the number 40.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about, just hanging up on the top side. You really got to get down that bottom lane as Trayton Lapsevich is now moving into that 6th position as Ryan Kuhn is quickly making his way through the field. He started 15th, but 3 laps in, he's already up to 12th as McCullum goes purple.
McCullum quick those opening laps, already opening a big gap on Harbert, C, Beatty, and everybody else. But here's a look on board with Ryan Kuhn. 12th position so far, working on Spencer Dickinson in the number 6. Justin Crow in the number 86 right in front of him. This is a tough spot to be in for Ryan Kuhn. 45 laps to go after this lap, and he's still got 10 or so spots as he goes way to the inside of Dickinson and Crow. And you can see the big move ahead from Devin Landry. That got close to the turn 1 race with Kyle Terzak. These guys really mixing it up back here. Look at this. And Adam Ricci back down to the bottom side. This is real hectic. Somebody out of line. 4 wide, 5 wide.
That was Casey Beatty.
Wow.
They're still beating around. Oh, we got a little loose.
Thronberg, big catch.
That was insane. Casey Beatty's got some ground to make up as they are fighting in front of him.
Oh, we're checking out. Big crash. The 9 car, Caleb Hall. Oh, man. We've got cars parked still. Devin Landry still trying to get back going. He had a good start to this race. Started up towards the front. It's not going that way now. Started 4th, currently 15th after all of that. Now, up in the front, you can see your race leader. He's about to catch up to that Devin Landry machine. Alex McCullum, after 9 laps, things calm for him.
McCullum half a second in front of Harberts, another 3/10 back to C. Landon Rapp, Trayton Lapsevich, and Ryan Kuhn up to 6th already as we've got Adam in the 15 right here on pit road. He's probably going to just take his fast repair and get out. Caleb, Justin, all these guys just trying to get back out on track and turn some laps.
Oh, Landry as well. That was real close for the race leader as Landry's going to get in right behind McCullum. Got to be a bit more careful than that. That was, I think, a bit of a... I don't know, bit of a lack of awareness maybe out of car 40. I don't think that was intentional by any means, but that was really, really close. And now he's in the middle of this top 3. Got to be careful. He did, it looks like, not take tires, Zach. Might have taken fuel.
Smart move, just trying to stay out and run as many laps as you possibly can and not lose too much track position. David Landry already 2 laps down, though, so it's going to be a little difficult for him to try and make up any spots and just be able to continue forward in this race as McCullum continues to walk away from the field 7/10 now in front of Harberts.
And this might look close for the race lead. This car right behind McCullum, though, not for position. This is your 2-lap down machine of Devin Landry. I just hope he's careful with McCullum. I really, really do. It looks like he's able to get to his back bumper if he wants to. Hopefully he doesn't have any consideration. I'm a little concerned. I know we've seen some scary times for leaders in the past with lap cars, but we do have a great battle for second. Jacob Harberts, Evan C. very close. Behind these guys, Trayton Lapsevich, Landon Rapp also very close quarters for the 4th position. Ryan Kuhn. Well, we took a look at all of that going on earlier. We saw kind of everything that happened with the slower car of Landry, Caleb Hall, everybody else. But Ryan Kuhn made it through all that, Zach. He's in 6th.
Yeah, but he's still quite a bit of ways away from catching Alex McCullum. He's actually dropped 2/10 since he got up to 6th place. He was 3.2, now he's almost 3.5. And, you know, he's still trying to catch Landon Rapp and Trayton Lapsevich. So he's got a little bit of work to do. It's always difficult when you're starting in the back. You have to manage the tires, but you have to get that track position if you want to be able to win in these races that have no cautions. As we've still got a little bit of fight to go on throughout the middle of the field.
Look at the damage there in Thronberg's car. The 22 on the outside. Dickinson loose that time through turn 4. Casey Beatty right behind these guys in the 45 machine. On board here with Beatty.
Going to be a little bit of bite coming off the front nose. Not going to be able to turn that well, but hey, if you can make it work, you can make it work. Thronberg's still holding P8. So close right there with Beatty.
Yeah, Beatty a little squirrely up out of the corner. Squirrely there again in turn 2, fighting for the 8th position.
You can see Beatty actually has a little bit of left front damage on the splitter and a little bit on the fender, but ultimately he's still able to make that car work. He's holding the bottom pretty well, and he is going to clear Thronberg right here. Don't know if they're going to try to get side by side. Nope, going to stay clear. Oh no, he's going to take the look off the corner.
I think this spells good things for the EPI set this week. Thronberg, a lot of damage on that car, hanging on nicely. Still fighting here with Beatty and others. Still a formidable machine. I'm sure he has a lot of damage to the engine, suspension, everything else. In fact, we can go on board through the driver's eye, and it's hard to say exactly if it's bent or not with the amount of offset these guys tend to run in these cars, but I don't think it's performing at its max.
Definitely holding steady, though. He's still holding there with Casey Beatty and just staying strong, really. Just trying to hold on to any possible spots that would eventually lead to an iRating gain. But you've got drivers coming up behind you that are also trying to take spots away. So you got to be able to make sure that you're managing how you are really trying to get these positions as
Hello.
Evan C. He has moved into the second position in front of Jacob Harberts, and that is allowing a lot of these guys to catch up as Trayton Lapsevich has closed in on these guys, and it is now a 3-car battle for the second place. And Ryan Kuhn is looking on Landon Rapp to try and get that 5th position.
There we go.
Bottom.
Lapsevich making quick work there, the 80 car. Harbert's heading back quickly. Ryan Kuhn, easy work there with Landon Rapp. Recall a great battle between these two at Five Flags Speedway earlier in the season. Ryan Kuhn came out on top in that one as well, as Landon Rapp just wanted to play nice, and I certainly agree with that call. Well, we're seeing more playing nice here with Jacob Harbert's allowing Trayton Lapsevich to go on by. It's good that these guys are recognizing, hey, this guy ran me down from 10ths, if not seconds back. There's a reason he did that. Is it worth fighting and potentially risking these spots? No. Take what you can get at this point in the season. Maybe later on, races 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe fight a little more for those positions then. But right now, if somebody runs you down from that far back, there's a reason, and you might as well let them by.
And we are just, we're past the halfway mark, and if you look at Evan C. right here, he's got a little bit of right front damage on that fender, and it does not seem to be affecting his pace at all. Being up in second place, 1.7 back from McCullum. Ryan Kuhn closing on Jacob Harberts, about couple tenths of a second back, because we still got fighting going on. Casey Beatty and Thronberg are still side by side with each other for that 8th position. That was Beatty right there at the line, but these guys are just holding each other up, but you've got the leaders coming strong, so I wonder how this is going to play out when McCullum catches them.
And right behind McCullum, you can see Caleb Hall has been run down by Devin Landry. So that Ryko number 9 headed backwards in a hurry, unfortunately. Oh, Caleb Hall. He had trouble earlier. I think he was the big catalyst in that crash we saw on the front stretch. It was hard to say with the limited amount of time we got to look at it, but here's that battle we were just looking at with Thronberg, Beatty, and now Lee Norton closing in. I really enjoy, like I said, what I'm seeing from the 22 of Thronberg. He's able to bring the fight right back to Beatty again. That car is definitely settled here at Southern National Motorsports Park. I think the involvement this season for EPI with the shop has really helped these guys out a lot as Thronberg works again on the 8th position, trying to get that spot back from Beatty. It's not going to happen that time, and up front, well, Jacob Harbert's quick work made by Ryan Kuhn of that number 80 machine. As you can see, Caleb Hall headed back to the pit lane.
And Ryan Kuhn is still closing in. He's 2.8 seconds back from McCullum. He definitely has a fast piece, but at the same time, is he going to have enough time to even get up to McCullum? McCullum is dealing with some lap traffic at the moment. Evan C. and Trayton Lapsevich very, very close running for the second position. I think
this has been Ryan's MO, long run speed.
And he is just ripping around the bottom. He's holding steady, just has to be able to make sure that he can manage these tires, get to the end. We're rolling up on 10 to go pretty soon, and McCullum still has a 2-second lead over Evan C.
Ryan Kuhn closing into Lapsevich and Evan C. both. That would be for the second spot if he can get there for that battle, and I think he will. Still 12 laps to go, that time by the flag stand. Lap 39 now underway. For Alex McCullum, this is the view of a race leader. He's got a couple of cars directly ahead. Those are Kyle Terzak and at least one other lap car. I want to say Adam Ricci. And yeah, I believe it is. With Ricci coming up on one lap down now is... No, it wasn't Kyle Terzak. I'm actually kind of confused about who this is right in front of him. I'd imagine one of them is Ricci. No. Oh, this is Lee Norton, actually, and Kyle Terzak. That car right behind Thronberg and Beatty was actually Adam Ricci in the number 85. So, I had that one wrong, but now we at least see this is Lee Norton about to go one lap down.
We're up on 10 to go. Actually, we're up on 9 to go. McCullum taking a look at these lap cars that are holding the bottom line.
Oh, one car spun.
That is...
Thronberg. Oh, no.
That's so unfortunate for Thronberg. He was having such a solid run.
This is a tough spot to be in. Try to turn around under green, no cautions. It's interesting. Out of the way, though. Keeps it safe. He will go 2 laps down, and we'll see if he decides to continue on. He's 14th now. No opportunity, really, to gain anything back. But I applaud the effort regardless.
Talking about gaining, Ryan Kuhn has caught Trayton Lapsevich and Evan C. This battle might hold him up from catching McCullum, but he is going to make sure that he can maximize these points after missing qualifying. And he's taking a look underneath Lapsevich, but not giving him any leeway whatsoever with 5 laps to go coming up.
5 laps to go this time by the flag stand, and Lapsevich left the door open for a moment. Kuhn not able to fill it just yet. That 72 car continues to work on these guys up into 4th after starting dead last in 15th position. For once, every other driver actually qualified, and boy did it bite the 72 car. As he looks to the inside now, the Canadian once again. 4 laps to go that time by.
He is just trying to find any way he can possibly get around. The tires are worn out at this point. You're coming to the close of the end of this race, and he's
here we go.
Any look? Is he gonna take it though?
Oh,
no, the door's
nope.
just gonna get shut. Not close enough, but he is gonna try to stick it underneath going into.
This might be the one. This might be the one. Here he goes. Ryan Kuhn to the inside of the Canadian. Trayton Lapsevich. This for 3rd spot, and I think the 72 car is gonna take it away. Not done yet though. 2 laps to go that time by. Popsicle sticks in the air. That's the battle for 3rd spot. Kuhn a little squirrely out of turn 2 ever so slightly, dives into the inside of turn 3. White flag for the race leader, Alex McCullum. One lap to go, presented by Whiplash Simcams, and there you see the pass for 3rd. As up front, Alex McCullum, smooth sailing as he comes around and takes a race win at Southern National.
Lapsevich underneath Kuhn. Here it comes. Kuhn still holds on for 3rd place, a 10th over Lapsevich.
8 cars finish on the lead lap. Casey Beatty just stays ahead of Alex McCullum, and there is McCullum down to the front stretch. Zach, that's definitely one of the better races I think we've seen this season.
Definitely one of the more chaotic races we've seen this season. Not too many wrecks going throughout this whole season, but coming in tonight, everyone just said, well, we're halfway through the season. The gloves are coming off.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen too many big crashes like we saw tonight. I think back to South Boston and North Wilkesboro Speedway. Really the only times we've seen crashes of that magnitude. Really, North Wilkesboro, the one and only that we saw a big crash. Now we have another big one this evening at Southern National Motorsports Park. Let's take a look at the overall race results. Unofficial race results, I should say. After 50 laps of racing, McCullum takes a win. This is important. I think really important to the standings. Evan C. there in second. That one car cushion between McCullum and Ryan Kuhn, I think is going to be, again, it's hard to say exactly where these guys are going to sort out until we get to week 9, Zach. Get through week 9, I should say, and at least one drop is figured in. But once we get there, I think we'll see the effect of McCullum taking this win straight off of what he's going to have to use as a drop week, missing last week at Langley. And I learned why, by the way. He went and won the Pro Championship at, I forget what they call it, USLCI at Nashville. Zach, you almost went and ran it. What was it called?
Spring Nationals.
Spring Nationals, thank you. Yes, Spring Nationals for Legend Cars at Highland Rim Speedway and Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So McCullum, I believe, clearly had a reason to go race, and it worked out for him. We'll talk to him about that in a moment. But Ryan Kuhn there, Trayton Lapsevich, Jacob Harbour, it's your top 5. Good deal there. He was actually starting to get run down by Lynn and Rapp, Zach. That 80 car was headed backwards quick.
Absolutely. Spencer Dickinson was, he had long run speed. He was able to close in a little bit, but ultimately he ran out of time, still 2 seconds back. Casey Beatty being the last car to finish on the lead lap as well, after battling so hard with Thronberg and Kyle Terzak, Lee Norton rounding out your top 10, first 2 cars to run 1 lap down on the racetrack. And, out of a 15-car field, it's still quite respectable to finish inside the top 10. And, these guys just got caught up in a lot of incidents, and it just made it difficult for them to even try to be able to gain positions after that. Adam Ricci finishing the last car 1 lap down in 11th position. David Landry in the 8th. Just a lot of unfortunate circumstances for David Landry, and he ends up 2 laps down in 12th. And Justin Crow and Blake Thronberg 13th and 14th. And Caleb Hall obviously just involved in 2 incidents on track. The first big wreck, and then a little bit of side damage that threw him back to the pit lane, and he rounds out in the back. Just an interesting race, to say the least, Andrew.
But it all goes the way for this guy. Car number 1, car number 2, however you want to look at him, Alex McCullum with another race win. And at first, Alex, I'm not going to lie, I was a little perplexed as to why you weren't at Langley last Monday, but then it made a whole lot of sense when I saw you went and won a whole bunch of races, it seemed like, out at Nashville and Highland Rim. First off, how did that go?
Yeah, that went very well. I think we had 6 races, and I think my worst finish was 4th throughout the weekend. I got 2 wins, a 2nd, and I think 2 3rds and a 4th.
So definitely worth taking a week off from Langley then, it seems. Championship there for you. And how big is that to your yearly plans, I guess, with Legends Racing? Does that open the box a bit more as to what you can do this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a confidence boost knowing that we were the car to beat all week there. So, I mean, racing with those guys, the competition was stout. I mean, you had to be on your A game the whole day, the whole week, and the field was so close, so you couldn't even make any mistakes, or else you would be mid-pack. So, luckily, I was on my A game through the week and was able to pull off the championship in Nashville.
And that's pro class, right?
Yes.
There you go, pro champion from Spring Nationals. Let's get back to late models here, though, on iRacing, and really just the iRacing thing in general right now, because obviously you've got your real stuff going on with your Legends car, but here we've seen a new involvement this season with Elite Performance Industries and the shop working together, and it seems like it's really reinvigorated this whole short track program as a whole, especially in these late models. You guys can bring the fight a lot more to these other teams that, like Ryan Kuhn, for example. He's been so good this season, but you're able to bring that fight to him. Thronberg looked great in that car until he had his mistake out of turn 4. How is this working so far for you guys?
It's working great. I mean, Elite's a bunch of great guys over there, so we have a really solid group over at the shop and Elite. So I think we're one of the top, the top short track team right now. So we're all working hard. Nobody's slacking. We're all putting the work in, and the results are showing.
And of course, it extends much further beyond just this official race on these Monday nights and the others that you do throughout the week. Of course, you guys run Sarah, you guys run ITZR. I know there's big involvement there with EPI in that series. So what's that like, running all those different leagues, trying to maintain everything, whether it's late models, street stocks, probably legend cars, a whole bunch?
Yeah, I mean, we do it all over at Elite. So my main focus is Monday nights on officials, and then I'm actually hopping on the server to go run ITZR tonight, and then I got Sarah on Thursdays, and help the guys out on Wednesdays for Sarah also. So it's definitely a busy season, busy week when all these series run, but it keeps me busy, so I always look forward to it.
I won't keep you too much longer. Only one more question as I drop my phone on my desk. Of course, you missed last week at Langley, so that kind of changes things up for how the points look now, but obviously that's going to change big time once we get through week 9 and drops start to get figured in. How do you feel for this battle with Ryan Kuhn down to the end?
I feel like we have a really solid points right now. If I keep running the races, if I don't miss any more, I think it's going to come down to me and Ryan and probably Evan, Jacob, and Rap. So just got to keep doing what we're doing, racking up these wins, and keep winning these SOF races.
Is there a track you feel best about so far? Looking at the rest of the schedule, I should say.
I mean, looking at the rest of the schedule, I mean, they're all pretty much my favorites. So just gonna have to keep working hard like we always do, and whatever happens, happens. So we're just gonna keep working hard like we always do, and see if we can provide the results.
Well, you certainly provided that this evening. Started on pole, stayed first, led every single lap, won the race. Congratulations to you, Alex. We'll be talking to you next week, hopefully, at Martinsville Speedway.
Thank you.
Alex McCullum, another strong week here, Zach, both in the Legends program last week at Highland Rim and Nashville Fairgrounds, and building on that this evening, I guess, so building on it if you want, here with the EPI and shop program, winning a race, big-time race for the SOF split here for late model stock cars this evening. Always got to feel good to get a win, especially an SOF split.
Absolutely. I mean, top split, nothing better than winning a top split. It's always top of the game, best drivers on iRacing, highest I rating, obviously. And you're just able to gain so much from it, especially in the I rating department. Everybody loves to gain that I rating. But I honestly think the experience overall is just a lot better. You've got a higher class of driver who commit more to just running the sim and just be able to get good at it. And, you know, you can take that experience and put it to real life. Alex McCullum obviously doing really well at Spring Nationals.
We do want to go back quickly and see if we can find the incident for Caleb Hall. And it looks like this isn't quite it, so bear with us for a moment while we try to find it. It's going to be, I believe, right about here. trying to find this exactly. I believe this next lap for Caleb Hall, so we'll let this play out. Ryan Kuhn, the 40 there of Devin Landry. Let's just watch this, Zach. Already some damage there for Caleb Hall. I wonder if it's car contact or he just got loose or something. Oh, well, there you go. Between Landry and Hall, a lot of car contact. Wow.
My goodness.
Yeah, that explains a whole lot more as to what happened here and why Caleb Hall and Landry especially had to go into the pit lane. I think that really helps explain all of it. Let's get on a look at things. This, I think, is 1 or 2 laps prior to it, so we'll watch everything kind of unfold before our eyes.
Hey, Landry just falls back in line, wants to get to the bottom, right on the bumper of the 51.
Oh, wow.
KCBD drops back a little bit. Not too much going on. You can see Caleb Hall looking to the inside of KCBD.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's a ever
that
so
explains the
little
right front
contact.
damage and why those guys were 4 wide.
Good save from everybody, and then a lot more contact going on back there. You can see Thronberg just getting really loose from the contact, and here you can see Landry and Hall. Ryan Kuhn right there just misses it. Maybe just ever so little bit of net code or just coming up the racetrack just a little bit.
Some really big hits for some of those guys. Let's go on board with Blake Thronberg here from the EPI stable. Had a big save out of turn 2, and then everything unfolds in front of him. Here's the onboard from the roof cam right behind Terzak in the 51, and wow, right up underneath that car. That was a big hit.
Hey, at least he kept going though. Just kept his foot in it, kept going, and was able to make up a lot of ground.
Absolutely.
Until he's fun.
100%. Another driver that got a big impact out of that was Lee Norton. He took a lot of damage and was right behind the 22 of Thronberg for this, and even Justin Crow in the 86. Big hit there.
He jacked up Thronberg and
yeah,
still kept going.
Yeah, some really, really big hits there. One more car I was wanting to get a look at of this from. Is that Ricci? Yeah, right here with Adam Ricci. Ended up out of the race much earlier, it looks like. No, ended up 11th, I guess. That all kind of unfolded quickly. He got right through it.
I think he bent the right front just a little bit after that contact, though, because his wheel shifted directly to the right after that contact, and he was kind of holding it to the right a little bit going into turn 1, but he seems like he was holding pretty solid still.
Here's a look at it for the number 8 car of Adam Ricci, and yeah, it got hit in the door real hard. That's what did it. And Terzak really was the biggest, I think, loser out of that whole thing. Of really just all the damage that was done to some of these race cars. Let's get a look at it here from the view of 51 car. A lot of really big hits. It's hard to say who the biggest loser was, but I think Terzak being turned around and hitting the wall as hard as he did has to be a contender for it.
See right here, there's the wreck right in front of him, and then, yeah, just gets hit from behind. He looked like he could have made it through, and then the hit from behind was what did him in.
Yeah.
A lot of front-end damage, actually. I know there was a lot of net code with Terzak being in there. Some of it shows he went straight to the wall, other of it shows he went straight, but he still kept it going.
Just a lot going on in the early portions of the race. That was actually very early on in the race as well, so race-changing moments there for sure. But Zach, we took a look at the schedule already. Let's do it one more time before we get on out of here out of Southern National Motorsports Park. Now, next up, it's Martinsville Speedway, a classic late model stock track. We just saw it for the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series. It's going to be a lot of fun next week in Martinsville. I'm excited.
Definitely a classic track for the late model stock cars. Valley Star Credit Union 300. Always a big late model stock car race for a lot of these guys. And, you know, after Martinsville, you're rolling into Hickory, another great classic track for late model stock cars. You got the throwback race in the middle of the summer. Or actually, it's in late May, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked at a schedule for a late model stock car in a while. The throwback race for Hickory.
The end of July. Always the end of July for the Throwback 276. The Martinsville Valley Star Credit Union 300 happens in September. Southern National, of course, has the Thanksgiving Thunder race. Well, at Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving Classic.
Thanksgiving Classic, yeah. You know, I've gone to a lot of Thanksgiving races between a lot of different kart tracks. Thanksgiving Classic, you're right, though, for Southern National, of course, around Thanksgiving. Langley has Hampton Heat in June, I believe. Maybe that actually might be later in the year. It's somewhere around. I know the Cars Tour goes to Langley in June. I think that's where I'm getting that from. So, yeah, 4 really solid late model stock tracks right in the middle of the schedule. I'm excited for these next 2.
And then you've got Lanier following right after Hickory. It's a great track to go to, especially for these late model stock cars. I don't remember if they have done any late model stock car racing in the past. I know
I
Linear
believe
has
so.
shifted.
With the Hooters Pro Cup Series.
Yeah, they've shifted a little more into newer forms and newer styles of racing. They just had legend cars out there not too long ago, actually. And then you've got New Smyrna and Nashville and Lakeland, all three great tracks. Lakeland, obviously, not around us anymore, but still preserved on the iRacing sim, and it still produces a lot of great racing. And I just want to say I give a lot of credit to whoever made this schedule for Season 2. And it's got a lot of good tracks, a lot of tracks that require a lot of just big driver skill. I know I've been running Langley a lot this week, and it's been really helpful with me learning the late model stock car a lot more, and just overall, I commend just the ability to have to really learn a lot to drive the car to be able to run that schedule.
Well, let's take a look at the upcoming broadcasts here for us, including next Monday at Martinsville Speedway. As you can see kind of the whole layout for us, it's kind of a normal week, what we've kind of fallen into here between the UFL Elite Series, the Sim Pit Radical Series, and of course now the iRacing Cars Late Model Stock Tour. First up, Wednesday evening, April 19th, we have got the UFL Elite Series from Talladega Super Speedway, the first of 3 playoff races in round number 1 before we have a finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 12, so things are clicking off, and it's time to get going. For these guys that have made the playoffs. I believe we'll have the field announced either tomorrow or Wednesday, but was pretty much already set in stone. They went to Martinsville last week for their elimination race, and then Sunday we've got Mount Panorama Bathurst for the Sim Pit Radical Series, April 23rd. That's going to be a lot of fun at 1:30 Eastern. Really excited to see how the Radicals do at Bathurst before Monday evening. We're right back at it here at 8:15 Eastern from Martinsville Speedway. Again, a classic late model track. That's going to be a lot of fun. Don't see many late model races there, just the Valley Star Credit Union 300 pretty much year in, year out, and a few here on iRacing. I'm excited to see how that one clicks off for these guys. This car's got a lot of grip. At a place like Martinsville, that's going to be tough to utilize, I guess, to be fastest. It's going to be easy to utilize that grip, but it's going to make it a lot more tougher to be the fastest car on the racetrack. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and so many great places to check out all the stuff we got going on here at Pitstop TV, facebook.com/PitstopTV, twitter.com/PitstopTV _, Instagram.com/pit_stop_TV, and then youtube.com/PitstopTV1. Obviously, the main place to watch everything here that goes on with any form of racing we've got going on at Pitstop TV. And, well, so anything you don't catch on YouTube, you will obviously catch the same product over there on Twitch. All the great racing that we do here, and I mean, looking forward to the schedule. I know I can't commit to a Sunday to be in there for the booth for Mount Panorama. That's one track I love to watch cars race on. But, you know, I'm going to be excited to be back here for Monday at Martinsville. That's going to be a great track to watch stock cars race at. And, you know, hey, Andrew, if you need me, I'm free on Wednesday. I'd love to hop in there for Talladega.
Might have to do that. I think we'll have Gary Weaver for that one as well. Maybe we do a 3-man booth. That'll be a lot of fun at Dega for sure. And, of course, plenty of races adding on to that schedule. You know, after Talladega, we go to North Wilkesboro, I believe, or Kansas, one of the two, for the UFL Elite Series. Then for Sim Pit, I believe it's on to Okayama. And, of course, for Martinsville, or, well, for the late model stocks here, it would be Hickory next up after Martinsville. So these schedules just keep on building from here on out. But that'll do it this evening for us from the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park in the virtual Lake Haven, North Carolina. Thanks for tuning in and joining us this evening. It certainly has been a pleasure as always. Zach, thanks for being here. And it's always good to have you on the call for these late model races and everything else you do for us here at Pitstop TV. And I'm excited to see where your racing ventures go this year. I know you've got a brand new suit coming in the mail. You just ran. You know what? How did your weekend go at GoPro this past weekend?
That is actually
okay. This weekend.
Story. We did not go to GoPro.
Wow.
We had a little issue where we could not commit to get the cart there, but we have the brand new motor, and it's going to be hopping in the cart, so we'll be ready for the next race in May. I actually went over to Caraway to see my teammate in a legend car, just Calibro race in the 602 crate mods. Unfortunately, he got spun out lap 2, but, you know, things happen in racing. That's how it goes. That
is how it goes. And a big thank you to those who make it happen for us here at Pitstop TV in audio, ATVO, Whiplash Media SimCams, OBS, and iRacing.com. And a big thank you, of course, to Tyler Payne and everybody over at Elite Performance Industries, powered by the shop. It's been a fun one, but that'll do it for us this evening from Southern National Motorsports Park. Hope to see you next week in Martinsville Speedway, or even Wednesday evening when we head over to Talladega Super Speedway for the UFL Elite Series playoff round number 1. For those guys, we'll see you there.